What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
We want to thank RVMattress by Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring this video.
I mean, it's just an exceptional mattress. Now, we've got a king-size mattress. You know, we started in an RV. Now, we moved into a home, but eventually we'll get back into an RV, I'm sure. And, of course, we're going to grab an RV mattress. But they have a newer mattress out that's even bigger than this one, that's a little bit heavier. But the thing is I know when we first ordered our first mattress, it was a little bit too big and too heavy, but that Titan seems pretty interesting. I'm going to have to check that out. They offer free shipping, and they're relatively quick. You know, this all comes out of Arizona. And the thing is, they have their own, manufacturing process. You're not buying from somebody that, is placing an order for it to come in from, somewhere else. It's being manufactured. And it's all Arizona. It's an Arizona manufacturing plant. Now, what you get with that is being able to dial in, obviously, your desired needs as far as too hot, too cold, taller, shorter, whatever. And you get not only a great, comfortable sleep mattress, but 120-night sleep trial. That's 4 months. You get free shipping. Come on, free shipping. These things are heavy. Wait till you order a king size, one of the bigger ones. It's pretty heavy, but nonetheless, it is delivered for free. But more importantly, use this code Daydream. You're going to go to rvmattress.com/daydream. Type that in. Then once you're in there and you do your checkout using Daydream, you get an exclusive 30% off your entire order. No matter what you're ordering. They have toppers, they have pillows, they have all kinds of stuff. So use the code Daydream and you're going to get not only a great mattress, you're going to get free shipping, and you're going to get a limited lifetime warranty. That's crazy, right? And 30% off. Back to the video.
Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the semi-warm basement. And I'm saying that as it's probably 70 down here. But this is the perfect time since we are at an actual temperature of -1 outside. Yeah, -1. That's not with wind chill. With wind chill, it's like -20. I don't know, -15. But I'm going through the house and I'm looking at some of the stuff that is more apparent whenever it's cold out. Really cold out. This is the way it was in our old house too, so I suggest you guys do the same if you have a home and you're wanting to check things. I've always been curious around here, and you could see, see all that stuff moving there? Well, there's a little bit of, no, it's all coming from outside. There is cold air coming in from around this pipe area here. It is definitely here. This is all cold air. So let me move my fine piece of artwork here, which, let me tell you the story about this. I don't think I've ever told you the story about this. You guys want to know a story? We went in to get my phone repaired at a place, I can't remember what it's called, to tell you the truth, but it's in Vero Beach. And if you're ever in Vero Beach, go to what they call the, I don't know, I can't remember what it's called now, the Millennial Mile Plaza or something like that. Anyways, just ask anybody in Vero Beach where the one of the older plazas are, and they'll get an idea. It's not, they'll be able to help you out. Let me just say that. Okay, let me get away from me being confused about that right now. And there is a phone repair spot that's there. And when I walked in the store to get my phone repaired, there was pictures. I mean, the whole place was plastered with pictures. A lot of pictures. Unframed artwork like this. And because I'm colorblind, this one kind of caught my eye. And it just, I don't know. You know what they say. Art is supposed to speak to you. Well, I don't know why this one did. I have no idea why. I just seen the colors and it looked interesting. So I asked the guy, said, all this, what's up with all the paintings in here? He goes, they're all for sale. And I go, oh, really? I said, well, how much is this one? And I pointed to it. And he goes, whatever you want to pay for it. I said, you're kidding me. He goes, no. He says, you can pay me $1. He says, you can pay me $100. He says, you can take one. He says, you could take them all. He says, it's whatever you want to pay. Now, at that point in time, we didn't have a house. And I thought, man, I wish we did, because I would be taking a lot of the paintings because I like the way a lot of them looked. It's just this one I like the most. So the story behind it is, apparently, from what I was told by the person that was running the store, was this artist, let me see if I can find her name. This is October 2018. Mindy Dionde. Mindy Diane? Mindy, I can't tell. That person, the story that I was told was that her husband had passed. And for therapy, to keep her busy, she does a painting a day. And that room was plastered with artwork. So anyways, I think I paid $10 for this because I liked it. And we hung it in the RV. Heidi doesn't care for it. It's just not her cup of tea. But I don't have hardly anything hanging up in the RV. So it came along with us. And yeah, here we are. I still have it. Going back to what I was just doing. Let me see if I can find some lighting here. This is a bike light. Yeah, that'll work. So yeah, there's cold air coming in here. And I had a feeling. I'll be able to block that off. I just wanted something that looked a little nicer. They just stuffed insulation in here. That's kind of funny. I find that really funny, to tell you the truth. It's not so much cold air coming in down here, but definitely up here. Definitely, especially right here. There's a lot coming in right here. So I got to do that. And now I'm going to go ahead and look at the rest of the house, see if I can see anything. I didn't feel anything. I really don't feel any. I kind of like the idea that there's cobwebs here because I can get a sense of the cold air. You got to be concerned. Yeah, nothing there. A little bit here, believe it or not. And it's what it is it's coming through the bricks. It's coming through the openings, the gaps in the bricks. But it's really warm in here. I mean, everything feels very comfortable. I just have a t-shirt on in my pajamas. Oh, might as well look along here, I guess, huh? But this is something that you should do. Go along and inspect, especially if you have a little bit of cobwebs, which most people shouldn't. I have my outdoor plumbing shut off there. If they keep their house clean, they shouldn't, but yeah, and it's sealed off very well there. That going outside, it's sealed off very well. All along here, there's a porch outside. I don't expect anything there because there's a porch on the other side of the wall. It's in this room that it's pretty prevalent. Let's go ahead and look in here. Again, I'm just looking at the cobwebs to see if I see any weird movement. There's some there. Yeah, and I can see out that. Well, this is the gas line that goes outside to feed the generator, the standby generator. So looks like I'm going to have to redo something there because I do see some movement. It's not very bad. It's very, very little, but I see it. It's around the dryer vent. Nothing really there. Nothing in this corner at all. You can see that cobweb back there possibly. I do have 4K setting on my phone right now. It is perfectly still. I still haven't stapled this up. What an idiot. I should, right? Nothing. And if you guys remember, this is the window that was just blowing in that cold air before we got the block done. Yeah, everything's looking really good here. All right, now for the troublemaker. This room here. Whew, it's cold in here. I can't see my breath, but all right. So I know that in this crack right here, all these cracks, the cold air is just coming in. I mean, especially like this one here, it's really roaring. I mean, I can feel it considering. But the biggest culprit is right up in here, this area. So I need to get some decent insulation and just stuff it in there, or maybe just do blown insulation in there, because there is so much cold air that's coming in, and it's behind the plywood, you know, to where I could barely get my hands up there. And I know that all this electrical, it'd probably be a good idea that it's open, you know, to where you can work with it. But yeah, this needs sprayed. All this needs sprayed in here behind the wiring, because there's a lot of cold air coming in. I don't know, again, where it's all coming from. Like that, I can tell there's some coming in from there. But it's pretty brutal. Now, the reason that you don't see a lot of this stuff moving right now is because I closed the door. So let me show you what it looks like when I open the door. Can you see all that moving now? I'm trying to hold the camera as still as possible. Yeah, there's a lot of movement going on in here now. There's a cobweb that's kind of, it's just blowing around. All this is blowing around. Yeah, that definitely needs taken care of. Especially here. Look at all that. And a lot of it, I think, has to, oh, look at this one. It's just, that one's just really going to town. This crack that's here, there's so much cold air coming in right now. A lot. That's above grade. These aren't, but yet there's a lot of cold air coming in here. So I need to get this stuff patched up, painted up, sealed off, whatever it is. But it's not horrible. It's just being exaggerated because I keep this door closed, and whatever goes on behind that door is going on behind that door. And you can see they actually sealed off all these rafters, trying to keep what was going on in there from coming into here. Now, we want to seal off all those cracks and everything, because I think this wall's going away. We haven't really figured out a reason to keep it. Not to say that we couldn't maybe make a wall this way or something, but we haven't figured that part out. And quite honestly, that's so far down on the list, I don't think I have to be concerned about it. Now, the furnace is doing a really good job. We're finding that we can set, just to give you an idea, in house differences, okay? We're finding that this home, although the square footage of this home is greater, this footage of this square foot home is, I think it's 1,600 square feet for the main floor. They don't count this as living space. If they did, it's another 1,600 square feet. But even though we heat all of this to a very comfortable temperature, and we heat, of course, all the upstairs, and I run the temperature upstairs anywhere between 67 at night to 75 during the day or the evening, depending on how we feel. If we're getting ready to do showers or take showers or something, we might run the furnace and get a little bit warmer in the home. and of course in the bathrooms. We know that we could save energy by putting in maybe a little, a couple space heaters or something, just for that reason, to heat the room in which we're going to be, like in the bathroom, to heat it up a little bit better. And I'm going to tell you that I don't like even feeling the slightest chill, the slightest little breeze or anything like that. And the house is not drafty at all. I'm surprised about that. Because of all these hardwood floors, I would think that somehow it'd be a little bit more drafty, but it's not. And I don't even know why hardwood floors would make it feel more drafty, other than it could be easier for the air to get through the cracks or travel across the wood, whatever. But even though we're heating this home in the basement to a temperature of 67, again, up to, 75 degrees, in temperatures that have been cold for the entire month of January here. Matter of fact, this is the first cooler than average month that we've experienced for well over a year. It seems odd. The house that we have at the other house on Briar, which is a 1933, it's a brick home, and we got a new roof on it. We have all new windows in it. This house don't even have new windows upstairs as of yet. And the square footage of that home is less by about 200 square feet. And we do heat the basement at that place. There's only one vent for the entire basement, versus this one has, a vent here, a vent there, another vent further down, a couple more vents down on the other side of the furnace. That home we have been running because of the fact that, we're not living there. We've been keeping it at a steady 54, 55 degrees. And even with that, I have wise thermostats that tell me what our temperatures are, that, or the runtime of the furnace, and the temperatures and humidity throughout the day and throughout the week, throughout the month. Weekly wise, we are running that other furnace almost or just under an hour less a day than what this one runs at. So that should tell you, it's definitely the home is built very well. They did a very good job, and we're not going to make this thing, to where it's bulletproof. I'm just going to insulate where it needs to be insulated to make sure the cold air doesn't come in any longer. And we'll just go from there. We'll make, modest improvements as it goes along. And Heidi and I has talked about this as being an investment, maybe something that we will cash in on later, maybe not. That's a discussion that her and I have had, and we haven't really come to a conclusion. But, putting in one nice new floor treatment throughout the entire basement, except maybe where it would be prone for flooding and wouldn't make any sense, such as like the laundry room, wouldn't make any sense to have a treatment in there. Maybe this room here wouldn't make any sense to have a treatment there. Of course, all new carpet on the steps here. We do like the idea that this has carpet, and it's heavy, thick carpet. I will pay extra just to make sure that we have the same thing go back in here as far as quality wise. This carpet affords a lot of abuse, and we don't ever hear the stairs, the creaks, nothing. It works great. But we were thinking about finishing off the basement, making it more of a living area, living space down here. And of course, that's going to require some sort of a roof or ceiling or something to make it look a little nicer. And of course, better lighting. Whenever that happens, then we can count on this area then being, again, considered living space, and maybe bump the property value up utilizing what's here. Upstairs is just fine. There's plenty of room, but a lot of people, including us, would like to have like a seating area, a visiting area where friends can come over, they can hang out, we'll sit and just BS. Now, if they're wanting to stay for a while and, after dinner, that kind of thing, we come downstairs and we lounge around down here in the room that, takes the abuse. But I also need this as a studio, and I have to do a lot more work to get this straightened out and organized to where it looks, and it makes sense, basically. Right now it's just a mess.
Find it funny that they were advertising this on Prime. Yeah, Bills and Chiefs, if you pay at Paramount Plus or Prime Video, you got to have subscriptions for those things. There's definitely a subscription required, but this is what we want you to do. Look how big it is. It's the biggest thing on the screen. But if you look under Mahomes' little number there, subscription required, or also watch on CBS, which is free.
Well, look at the mess. Look at the mess. How quickly this garage is looking like my old garage. Good news is our son came out here and he wiped out the wall, the brick wall. He stacked it on the back side of the garage. So we had the room, and then he moved these tables or workbenches. He moved those over on the back wall. So this is where Heidi's parking her car. Now the bad news is the floor is really jacked up in here. I don't even think a repair could take care of this because it's really unlevel. The floor drain kind of works, so it kind of sucks. Oh well. But in the meantime, I've got to take care of all this stuff because I got a couple reviews for you guys coming up. When I say a couple, I mean about 6. Man, it's amazing how fast stuff just piles up. But I've got to straighten this up to the point where it's usable. So I got to kind of figure out that I think the tractor is going to have to go kind of in between, maybe. This is a hard thing to figure out. Yeah, and I haven't found a home for all this stuff. Now, we have a bunch of totes, and I did have my son, I pushed them up there. They're pretty heavy. I pushed them up the steps, and then he took it from there, and he stacked them up in the garage, in the attic. There's plenty of room up there. There's lots of room. I wish there was a set of stairs that was permanent that went up to the second floor. I talked about that before. That would be nice. That would be something that was very usable. I think that I would like to see guys riding a bike out here. That's kind of funny. I'd like to see that. I'd definitely like to see to where we had an easier way to get upstairs than that drop down access door, which is convenient. Don't get me wrong, it's better than a ladder, but I would really, I think I would use that second floor a little bit more if something was more permanent in here. 53 degrees today, which is beautiful. It is wonderful, and it's going to be short-lived. Our other house, it's still on the market. We've had, after Christmas and New Year's, the reviews or the showings and the people viewing the listing and saving it and visiting and inquiries have gone up considerably. We have usually on average 4 showings a week for the last 2.5 weeks. So it's good. It's definitely good. We've been shopping for, believe it or not, let me think. There's different levels of shopping. We were casually browsing, and we are now more intensely browsing for trucks and RVs. We'll see what happens there. Let me just say that. I don't think that I'm going to find anything right away that just clicks and hits, all 8 cylinders or checks all the boxes. But we have come close a couple times where we almost pulled the trigger. I'll tell you, my FedEx people, I had a pretty good FedEx driver when we first moved in here, and he notified Heidi the other day that it was his last day. He was going to go work for the state of Ohio. Good for him. Ben, if you happen to see this, which I doubt, hope you do well in your next job. I had to take the snowman inside here. Hey, it's currently being recorded. Oh, wonder if my son got the package for me. Or is it inside here? Yay. So this is something that, like I said, it's kind of weird because our last FedEx guy would deliver everything to the garage, which if I open the garage door, he would actually he would put it in the garage for us. But you're going to see a bunch of stuff out here in a second. I'll tell you, things are getting out of control. I also have the heater running out here. I have my baggie on only solely, and it is 26 degrees. There's a little bit of a breeze, so it's yuck. Check this out, though. I'm telling you, there's gravel the whole way, just like this, all the way back. So when spring comes around, I'm going to have to do something to drag that up. Let's get inside here where it's warm. It's also noisy though, so that kind of sucks. Yeah, look at all this crap. I won't say crap. I do have to do a lot of reviews though, but I thought I would touch base with you guys and give you an update with what's going on. So first of all, let me turn this temperature down a little bit. I've been messing around with this thermostat. I want to see if I can just want it to be, there we go. I just want it to be above a cold temperature. You know, I don't know what that may be actually, but all right, let me turn you guys around. I want your opinion on something, and then I'll talk about a bunch of stuff and get you up to date. And yeah, first of all, before I turn you around, I did get the garage straightened out a little bit. Nothing's organized. I just got it all stacked out of the way. I just wanted to make more of an area because of all this. I can't talk about, don't look. Secret, that's not coming out until March sometime. Matter of fact, I think this one might be the same too, but well, I've got to do that. These are all high bay lights for the pole building. I have 3 more inside the house. These things are brilliantly bright. I mean, really bright. I have a battery I got to do a review on. So one of the things that I've talked about in the past, whenever you guys, people have asked me, hey, what should I do for YouTube? What kind of camera should I get? That kind of a thing. The camera that I suggest that you get is probably some sort of little action cam. I know that I like this new Insta-Go 3 thing that they have. It's nice. I've used it and it does a really good job. But I'm going to talk to the people that are like, well, I just want to start. Just start vlogging, see if I like it, that kind of thing. These phones are incredible. They're really, really incredible. So that's what I was thinking about doing is, the thing that I preached prior is that the best camera to have when you're trying to vlog what you're doing, randomly, is the one that you have on you. And of course, you always have your phone on you. So what I've done is started talking to Heidi about maybe going back to our phones more often. Now, we do a lot with our phone. What you see a lot of times when she's on camera is me on my phone shooting that. The problem that I've run into though is that the audio, I've got to boost her audio during whenever I'm editing the video. So what I've done is picked up, even though we have wireless microphones, that we have actually a filmmaker series from RØDE, which is very good, incredible, big, long lasting. I don't know how, hours and hours that I could shoot and capture audio with it, that we used to use with our live chats. Then I went into the smaller RØDEs. I think they call them minis. I don't remember, tell you the truth. But those are the ones we use with our action cams. And I can use with my phone during live chats, which we may in the future still utilize that as we had in the past. But I wanted something that was more portable. And I have this little dongle that just kind of plugs into the phone right now. And this is the case. And basically it gives me 2 microphones. One that's here. It either clips on or there's a magnet. You can see it's not very big. Heidi had this on the other day because I was testing it out. And I've got some of her blonde hair in here. I can tell that we captured it with the magnet. But anyways, it's a good little system. It's really nice. Like I said, other than the they call them a dead cat, but the wind protector, the wind buffer, that don't fit in the case. You have to carry that separately. But other than that, I can carry the microphones here. I see that the dongle on the camera right now, or on the phone, is flashing, trying to find that one that I just accidentally opened up and showed you guys during filming here. But I wanted you to give me an idea of, is this something that you wouldn't mind seeing more of? The quality of my phone camera is pretty exceptional. I have a flip phone, so I can see, with the camera case closed, I can see what I'm capturing. And I did a wide angle, but the most important thing about this phone and moving forward is something that might be annoying to you. So there's two things that I want you to just give me feedback on. Tell me what you think. Not that I'm going to listen to you. I mean, I don't even listen to Heidi most of the time. And she's my wife. But I do like to hear the feedback, because it gives me an idea of something to be conscious about. The first thing is, how's the audio? Is it something you could deal with? And this, again, coming from this microphone here, does that sound okay to you? And the reason is because, if I walk away from the camera, it'll stay with me. The audio stay with me. If I turn my head and I talk, somewhere else. And more importantly, when Heidi's with me and we're shooting video, she will be captured equally with the audio, which is something that is just not ever done in the past, except when we maybe do RV reviews, when we do walking through RVs, which I'm going to talk about that in a little bit too. The other thing is this camera okay? Now, granted, you're not always going to see this, but sometimes there's times that I'm going to think about setting up the camera and kind of doing and letting it do its thing. And what I mean by doing its thing is, this thing will keep me in the frame as much as possible. I can move around and it'll zoom out and in as needed. It doesn't have a swivel. It's not swiveling. This is all done through programming of trying to just keep the subject in the frame. And again, the audio, like I could be over here working. You'll see me bending down here, whatever. I could be messing around, and nonetheless, the audio will come through just like normal because it's plugged into the camera. And there's a range, this is a single lens that's doing all this, but it does it all automatically. It's kind of like I have my own little cameraman to keep me in frame and keep you guys focused on what I'm doing and keeping out the stuff that you don't need to see. Is that annoying though? Does it bother you that does it? Now, sometimes it'll just freak out. If I do stuff with my hands, or if I do some weird movement, it'll freak out and it'll try to do some strange things. But for the most part, I think it does a good job. Now, talking about RV stuff, we have been looking at RVs on so many different levels, it's crazy. I want to be above a teardrop. I want to have a bathroom. I want to have a shower. Of course, some sort of little kitchen for Heidi. Not as big as what we had prior necessarily, but staying on the small side of things, this is the smallest that I want to go. Maybe a 19-footer. It's got to have 2 axles. I don't want to do a single axle. It has to have a dinette. Doesn't have to have a 4-seater dinette, but it does have to have a dinette. And it does have to have a separate little couch. I don't want the couch and bed to be the same, a Murphy bed or whatever. I then also want to have a bed, a dedicated bed. I don't necessarily want the bed to be crammed into a corner if I don't have to. Heidi and I has gotten to the point in our lives where we don't want to be climbing over each other. And even the ones that are in the corner that have a little opening there, I could put her on the side that's the easiest to get out. And I can slide around her at night because she's shorter. So it's not like me. My feet are hanging off the bed and everything else. She would have to deal with that. I want it, but still, I don't think that I want to. I'd like to have some sort of a walk around, or to where I can at least, be straight in and out off of one end. Of course, air conditioning, of course, the refrigerator, it's got to have those things. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, we've looked, not hard. We haven't like, oh, this is nice, I want to go get it. But we have casually looked at like 45-foot diesel pushers. just because. Close your ears, I'm going to say the A word. Turn off torpedo. It's nice that that's hooked up that way. And it is getting cooler, so I was glad that it kicked on. But the idea that we would get something that big, probably not in the cards. I just don't see a need for that right now. We've looked at fifth wheels. We've looked at big fifth wheels, kind of what we had before. We've looked at smaller fifth wheels. Probably if I'm going to go smaller, I'd probably go into a travel trailer. We looked at travel trailers that are exact same size as what we had. We looked at travel trailers just slightly smaller than what we had. It's hard telling, but we're definitely looking. Now, what's holding us up? Well, there's a lot of things. One of them is funds. The other thing is we've got work that needs to be done to the house here. We have to get windows for the house. The windows are okay. There's some problems with them though. And Heidi and I don't like, this spring, there's no way we can't have new windows in our home. So there's money to be laid out for that. And the reason is because the windows are old. They have storm windows that you actually have to remove and put screens in for you to be able to do that. Now, we found that a lot of the windows aren't even opening very easy. I don't know what the deal is. I don't think that they've been open for a couple years. Not only that, but they're not insulated very well. So there's moisture that's building up between the storm window and the actual pane, sash window that's all wood, that's probably original to the house, which by the blueprints, the original blueprints that I have, it looks like they're original. That's what they called for. So it's just, 1961 technology, single pane, a little noisier, they allow a little bit more noise to come through, and they're not as insulated as they should. And more importantly, whenever it's cold or hot out in such a way that moisture builds up in between those panes, when I say looking out a window, you can see out of it limited. Sometimes you got to dip down below where all the moisture is build up because the storm window has a seam in it and it has a tendency to allow the top half to get a bunch of moisture at the bottom. So you got to like dip below that or above it, one or the other. And so we got to do that. We've got to spend that money on that. The driveway probably needs some attention here. We don't want this blacktop to turn out like our old house. When we first moved in, we had a portion of blacktop at the apron of our entrance of our house. And over the years, it just got worse and worse and worse. We never did anything with it. And we should have. I don't want this one to go that far. I think, unfortunately, it could potentially be to the point where all the asphalt needs tore up and it needs redone. I hope that's not the case. I really don't. So when our other house is cleared from us, because we do own two homes, this house here and the other house that we don't have any payments on it, but we still own it. And we still have electric and gas and taxes and trash and water bills and all that stuff that's assigned to that. Internet, still have internet over there because I have, security systems that run off internet. So there's a lot of stuff that unfortunately we have paying out at that other home. And once it sells, that would free up, some funds that we might be able to look at, other stuff. We have a lot of people that have been looking at our home. So we're getting a few offers at this point in time. We actually made a counter offer to one of them and we are waiting to hear back from that. We may hear that in a couple days. I don't know when you're watching this, but that is something that doesn't happen overnight though. Still, it's not like whenever somebody says, yeah, I'd like to buy your house, that you say, okay, I'll meet you up at Denny's. You can give me the money and I'll hand you the title. You have a process, about another month-long process before that whole thing is finalized. So, we'll deal with it. It's all a thing that we're well aware of. Anyways, that's it. I've got work to do. Again, let me know, is this something that's annoying? Do you hate this? The camera doing all this freaky stuff? Because there's a lot of times that we're shooting videos and I'm walking around with the phone in my hand, and it doesn't need to be. We're probably in a, you know, a small area like this that I might be referencing something, especially with RVing in the future. You know, I could just put my phone out here and just talk to you guys, and we can reference stuff that's going on around us a little bit easier. I might see if I could talk Heidi into doing a live chat. You guys can put your input on that, because I'm sure it's not going to happen before this video goes up, because I think I have enough information on this video that we can post it, because man, it's just been so, you know, winter, it's that time. It's just that time that everybody's kind of starting to chomp at the bit. They want to get camping, and we're no exception to that. So we may have a big trip coming up though. Has nothing to do with it, but we'll bring you along. We'll talk to you about it. It might be fun. We might actually show you some clips of some crazy stuff we'll do. There might be something very crazy that we do, and you guys will probably freak out. And it's kind of a glimpse into something that we will do once every 6 years, maybe. Yeah, or longer. And you'd be surprised. But that's it for now. And if I don't talk to you guys after this clip, that means you're watching this. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll close it out just in case. As always, guys, we hope to see you out there in the warmth, in the sunshine, in beautiful environment, not in a cold Northeast Ohio garage like I am right now.